As someone that grew up with the original Star Fox, my mind is pretty much still blown of what's going on here. And there's been a lot of discourse about Star Fox on the Nintendo Switch 2 and what they're doing with the art style and all that. And that's whatever. But I just want to say that I feel vindicated when it comes to my stance on Star Fox. What I said in my video talking about it originally, with the original vision of the game, what I thought about it in my head back in the day, 30 plus years ago when it came out in 1993, over 30 years ago at this point, decades. I felt that that was what they were trying to do, and there wasn't really anything that 100% confirmed that. But now, once again, I feel vindicated. There was a bunch of stories that ran with the original producer of the game, one of the creators of Star Fox, Mr. Takaya Umura, who was talking about how he prefers the animated or the Star Fox from the Mario movie, but he said a number of things that essentially confirm what I've been saying about this game and what I thought about this game when it comes to what they were thinking, the developers, when it was originally made in the early 90s, and even with Star Fox 64. So we're going to get into that and some new news with the game, because this is looking pretty good so far. It's pretty much like a follow-up as well to my video that I did about the sales exploding. We've got more data on that and more to discuss. But before we continue on, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. All you have to do to enter is hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, and drop a comment below. We are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 once we hit 150,000 subscribers, and it will be random. So the more that you actually comment and interact, the better chance that you have to win. Hit that like button, click that notification bell, and let's go ahead and jump right back into it. So over on Twitter, Genki posted a article about the original OG Star Fox character designer Takaya Imamura, saying that he prefers the movie design of Star Fox over the new game design of Star Fox or the Switch 2. But he says that the game version is also good because there was talk about this. Now, Mr. Takaya himself actually quote tweeted that, saying the new work is exactly the visuals I had in my head back when I was making Star Fox 64. I absolutely love the super realistic character expressions too. That said, the movie version of Fox is just too cute. So then I saw that, and this is a follow-up on what I had to say on the past week's Spawncast. This was before this came out here, where in my head as a kid growing up back then, when I got the game brand new in 1993 and I saw the commercials, that's what I pictured in my head. I'm kind of the same as Sean. Like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I like the designs, because little OJ back in the day, 40 or 30 something years ago, when I first saw this game, because I got it day one. Like, that's what I wanted. Parents went out there and got me. It was expensive as hell when parents got it for me. And when I saw the commercials, it reminded, like, that's what they were going for. They were going for like a realistic, like, animal inside of like a pilot, right? Like, it was supposed to be that. You can even go back and look at the commercials. Like, they would even put like a fox inside of like inside of like a suit and say, oh, you're playing as like an actual fox. So me back then, that's what I thought. I thought it was like, oh, these are like realistic animals. And it was supposed to be realistic and look really gritty. That was the style that I felt that they went with, that the OG character artists and everything went with. And it wasn't a game that was supposedly stylized. It was a realistic take when it comes to it. And this is pretty much confirmed that. Now, he also followed that up talking about the origins of the game itself when Miyamoto talked about it. And this one, he quote tweeted Genki once again, where they talked about the Fushimi Inari shrines that the game was kind of inspired by, where you fly underneath. Then Mr. Takaya said this: that's right. When Mr. Miyamoto suggested let's go with animal characters, I was pretty surprised. Initially, in my mind, I had envisioned a harder, more realistic character design, something like the ones in F-Zero. So what he's saying here is he's like, well, wait a minute, I thought we were going to do like realistic looking characters in there, but that was the whole goal originally, even from what he was thinking, and also obviously what Mr. Miyamoto was thinking. Let's have this realistic looking design, regardless if it was going to be humans or of course animals. And once again, if you were growing up at that time and you saw the commercials, it was pretty much that. It was something different. They had the FX chip. That FX chip was built into the cartridge, and with that, that gave the Super Nintendo capabilities that it wasn't able to do originally on the system. So it was always looked at as a graphics more realistic type of game. So I personally feel that that was the take, and they're kind of heading back to that here with Star Fox on the Switch 2. I knew that it didn't fail me when it comes to my memory and thinking about this game. Back in 1993, I got Star Fox day one. I pretty much begged my parents and I was like, please, can I get this game? I think it was like 60 bucks. So back in 1993, 60 bucks. Yeah, inflation, it was expensive. My mom had to work overtime to get that, especially when it's like $3 an hour, however much she was making. I know it wasn't that much, so shout outs to mom. It's Mother's Day at the time that I'm recording this video. You might be watching when it's Mother's Day, so shout outs to Mama Essence. She really worked hard to get me this game because I saw the commercials and I thought it looked cool. And I thought it looked so cool. You had the commercial with the pilot. It's looking like it's realistic. It's advertising the FX chip. Everything about this game was a realistic design with high-end graphics. And they even had the freaking fox in the suit. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to make a realistic looking, stylized type of game. And that's how I always saw Star Fox. That is, to me, what Star Fox was. I personally feel, like I've stated before, that Star Fox pivoted away from a realistic design because Nintendo's systems pivoted away from being able to produce the type of realistic design that they were going for. I think that's essentially what happened, or the systems just weren't able to produce that type of realistic style, and they had to prioritize other things, of course, like the frame rate and stuff like that. So I think that's when they started pivoting away. You're starting to see stuff like Star Fox Zero, obviously on the Wii U, the tablet gamepad, but even Star Fox Command and what that game did on the DS, Star Fox Assault, they were really trying to keep the frame rate up, and there were certain things, good style, don't get me wrong, but they had on-ground combat. There's no way they're going to be able to do that type of style with even the GameCube. So I think that's what happened there. I think essentially they just kind of pivoted away from that and felt that maybe it'd be a better direction to go here. And ultimately, it didn't end up working. The best-selling Star Fox games were the Star Fox games that had the vision of them, what I thought. The gritty, realistic, more style where they're really pushing the visual flair of the game. The original Star Fox, that sold about 3 million units plus on the Super Nintendo. Then you have Star Fox 64, which sold over 4 million units on the N64. Those are the two best-selling ones. Every single Star Fox game, mainline one after that, has sold under 2 million units. Not even close to Star Fox 64 or the original Star Fox. So if they go, in my opinion, with this design, that is the best way forward. That is the best way forward with what Star Fox is about, which is the gritty, realistic design, high-end graphics, really pushing what the system can do and having tightly controlled, great gameplay, lots of replay value, and now the added multiplayer mode as well. You've got challenge mode, the expert mode. There's a lot of stuff in here that can hook new people. I think this is going to be something to where, yes, sure, online, a little bit of a shock from people who essentially just know Star Fox from Super Smash Brothers or know him from the Mario movie, but that's not necessarily his style. That's not what Star Fox was about. And that's straight out of the horse's mouth. The person who designed it, that's what he was thinking about. And they advertised it that way. So if they're going to continue on with Star Fox, and if they're going to keep this franchise going, it's got to have its own unique style. It can't just borrow from where it was in places that was more popular, like the Mario movie or like Smash Brothers. It needs to have its own unique style. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Nintendo has a million cartoon / anime inspired aesthetics. A little bit of variety when it comes to this grittier, more realistic style is not a problem, especially when the origins of the series is just that. It's not a problem to have something a little bit different. I see people saying, oh, it's like PlayStation 5 where they're trying to do AI slop, and it's like, no, this was the original vision, and they have the hardware with the Nintendo Switch 2 to be able to render the graphics and be able to render all the fur and everything. They've finally gotten to this point and still make the game run and look good because it still looks like it's running 60 FPS smooth and everything. So that's the biggest thing for me. Like I said, I can't stop thinking about this because I understand what's at stake here. I think that this game definitely needs to do well, and we'll talk about that just in a bit. But this game definitely needs to do well because this could get Kid Icarus. And Kid Icarus had everything going for it. It was a brand new game. It wasn't just a remake or a remaster. Everything lined up to what people wanted. They had a great price for the game. Everything was set up, and people didn't go out there and support it. So I know what's at stake. So I'm looking at it all encompassing. I want Star Fox to be good. I want Star Fox to come back and be awesome and to continue on. I think if this game does well, they're going to put out another one. And the best thing about this is that Nintendo isn't gouging with this game. It's $50, physical and digital. Amazon, thankfully, price matched with the digital version of the game. Nintendo priced it at MSRP $50 digital on the eShop, $60 physical normal. Amazon and Walmart said, we'll price match that when it comes to the digital version. So there's really no excuse. Usually you say, okay, $70 might be a bit much for this type of game, rail shooter, whatever. Now, if you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to pick it up. I'm not saying that you should be pressured to buy it because you won't get another one. I'm just saying this is the big opportunity that people have been waiting for, and this is going to be introduced to a whole new audience of people who have never played a Star Fox game before. Star Fox is not a massive seller. It's never sold more than 5 million units plus. And its peak was nearly 3 decades ago. It was in 1998 or whenever Star Fox 64 came out. That was pretty much its peak. Its peak popularity was from 1993 to like 1998 or something. And after that, it fell off of a cliff when it comes to it. Some of it our fault, a lot of it Nintendo's fault. But that's all water under the bridge. This is the opportunity that I've been looking for, and I feel such a personal connection with Star Fox because it was one of the games that made me love playing video games and what the possibility and potential as a medium that video games had on the world. So it's super cool, man. I can't wait to get my hands on this game. Right now, even at this point, it is skyrocketing. I talked about this before. It is skyrocketing on the sales charts here in the US. #1 outselling Tomodachi Life, living the dream in pre-orders so far. Tomodachi Life is already out. That game's been doing great, been one of the best sellers, if not the best seller on Amazon for the last couple of weeks since it's been out. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, Pokemon Pocopia, these are all games that are doing great on the Nintendo Switch 1 and Nintendo Switch 2. To see Star Fox up there, a new release for the game, is just something that is just awesome. Like seriously, it's so cool. But I did do a little bit more digging and checked into Amazon Japan because in Japan, Star Fox isn't as popular as it is in the US. But on Amazon Japan, not doing bad. Actually, #3 on best-selling new releases. So not bad at all. We'll see about other countries and regions. The game is coming out in June. I think this one, because of the price and because of the just different nature of this game, it's going to appeal to a lot more people than maybe it wouldn't have appealed to because of what they're doing, and the graphical style is just so different and weird than maybe what some people were expecting. So what do you guys think when it comes to Star Fox on the Nintendo Switch 2 so far? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, moving on to the next topic here. We do have an update on a game that's coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, a big AAA title. It's called Hell Is Us. I remember seeing this game, I think on Xbox or on PlayStation. Yeah, at like a presentation a bit ago, but now it's coming to the Switch 2, and it's not a bad game. I looked it up. It's got like a mid to high 70s average score here, so let's talk about it a bit more. So publisher Nikon and developer Rogue Factor will release action RPG Hell Is Us for Switch 2 on September 24th, the company's announced. Hell Is Us first launched for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC via Steam on September 4th, 2025. Yeah, I knew it wasn't that old. I knew that it was somewhat recent, so that's just last year, late last year, so good stuff there. Let's talk about it a bit more. Hell Is Us is a third-person action-adventure game that combines intense melee combat with the thrill of exploration. Explore a semi-open world to find answers to your questions and face mysterious creatures all along your journey. Here are the key features: a hostile world, as well as the civil war dividing the country. The region is suffering from a mysterious calamity, which has given rise to supernatural creatures that no modern weapon can defeat. Your drone and sword from a different age are your faithful allies as you cut a path through lands infested with terrifying chimeras and try to unravel the mystery of their appearance. A unique exploration system. No map, no compass, no quest markers. Following your instincts is part of the adventure. Enjoy a unique experience that uses innovative writing and level design to let you make your own decisions and follow your instincts as you explore. Your discoveries are yours alone. Okay, I didn't know that about the game. Interesting here. I usually like having maps and telling me kind of like where I need to go generally, but maybe the level design here makes up for it to the point to where it feels natural. Combat against creatures. swords, spears, and axes. A wide range of weapons forged specially for fighting these supernatural creatures is available. You will need to learn how to fight these monsters and use your drone wisely to stay alive. Okay, interesting there. You guys are seeing the game. You got the release date. It's good to see some of these bigger AAA or AA-ish type of games come over to the Switch 2. We've had a number of them, and third-party support, while not 100% or perfect on the Switch 2, it is significantly better than any Nintendo system that I've seen pretty much since like the Super Nintendo. This is pretty much the best third-party support from big AAA developers in a somewhat timely fashion that I've seen. Now, obviously, a lot of stuff isn't day and date, and there's still been some problems. But if you go back to like the Wii and the Wii U and the 3DS and even the Nintendo Switch 1, I mean, maybe since the GameCube. Yeah, I think GameCube was definitely a bit better when it comes to multi-platform releases day and date. But pretty much after that, it was dry city for a lot of it, and Switch 2's at least bringing some of these games over as they catch up, and it's definitely more impactful when it comes to some of the third-party games that we've gotten on the Switch 2. So it's good to see Hell Is Us is coming over, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other big games do come over to the Switch 2, because I think it's just kind of getting going here as developers still are getting their kids, still getting acclimated with the system and catching up to their games that have been in development for years before the Switch 2 even launched. So what do you guys think about Hell Is Us coming over to the platform? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, we've got a big sales update for Pragmata on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and the Nintendo Switch 2. So total sales for science fiction, hacking, action, adventure game Pragmata have surpassed the big 2 million units in only 16 days, Capcom has announced. And the game originally came out back in April, and it's actually really good. People are really enjoying the hacking gameplay. They're enjoying Diana, the robot girl, how she kind of figures out how to be human even though she's not, and the main character kind of being like a lovable dad, father figure type of thing. It's a fun game. I played the demo. Still haven't had a chance to pick it up full yet, but I know I'm going to pick it up and play it. I'm probably going to get it on PlayStation 5 and the Nintendo Switch 2. It's a very fun game from the demo. I've just been slammed with backlog and a lot of games. I was playing Xenoblade when that game came out and everything, Xenoblade Chronicles X, so I'm still gonna pick it up and play it fully. I just haven't got around to it, but from everything that I've seen from the demo that I've played, it's a ton of fun. So if you're looking for a cool Capcom third-person action adventure shooter type of game, Pragmata is it. And it's great to see that a new IP that kind of took some time to come out is getting its time to sell well so far. So 2 million units plus 16 days. I think this game by the end of the year, especially with some price drops, so maybe 3 to 5 million before the end of the year. So what do you guys think so far about all the different topics here, from Star Fox to Hell Is Us and Pragmata? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.